Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be making this beautiful double layered gathered dress with flare sleeves. I will be working directly on the fabric, so I'm going to be folding the fabric into four. It's already splitted into two, one for the front and one for the back. The back piece is the one down while the front piece is the one on it. I added 2 inches zipper allowance to the back piece. So from the center of my front piece, ignoring the zipper allowance, I'll be taking my measurements, my shoulder measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I just marked it down. Then I'm going to come down by 1 inch from that 8 inches as my shoulder slope. Then I'm going to take my armhole measurement from that slope of 8 inches, which I just marked down. For the neckline, I'm going to be taking the width of 3 inches and the depth of 3 inches. I'm going to extend the depth to the zipper allowance. Then I'm going to connect it together. Then I'm going to connect the neckline to the shoulder slope like this, and I'm also going to connect the shoulder slope to the armhole measurements. So I'm going to find the midpoint of my armhole line. I'm going to divide the line into two, that is the 8 inches into 2. I'm going to have 4 inches. Then I'm going to go in by half an inch on that midpoint. Then I'm going to connect it back to the armhole line like this. So this part is going to serve as the armhole line for the front. Now I'll be taking my horizontal measurement. At this point I'm going to be taking my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. So I'll be taking 16 inches as the half length of this dress. My shoulder to my waistline is 15 inches. I added 1 inch seam allowance to it, making it 16 inches. So you're going to add 1 inch to your waist measurement to determine your half length. So I'll be marking the 16 inches on a straight line and I'm going to connect it together. On the waistline, I'm going to be taking my waist measurements divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then I'm going to connect the waist measurement to the bust measurement like this. Then I'm going to cut off the excess part of the fabric. So for the armhole, I'll be cutting the armhole for the back first. On my zipper allowance, I'll be going in by half an inch and I'm going to connect the half an inch to the top like this. Then I'm going to cut it out in order to eliminate back bulge. From my center piece, I'm going to mark my dart measurement, that is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 to give me 4 inches. I'm going to notch that point. I'm going to separate the front piece from the back piece. Now I'll be working on the back piece. First of all, I'm going to cut out the armhole for the front. Then at the center of my front piece, there is an opening at the center. So I'm going to come down by 4 inches. I'm going to mark down that 4 inches. Then I'm going to go in by half an inch and connect it to the 4 inches. Then I'm going to cut that part out like this. You can cut it whatever shape you want to. It depends on how you want the opening at the front to be. So this is what the front piece will look like when you open it up. So I'm going to be piping the neckline with this bias tape. The point where I opened, I'm going to turn it around with this bias tape first before I turn the main neckline with another fabric. For the back as well, I'm going to turn the neckline with this clothing bias. I'm going to turn the both piece. So for those sleeves, I'm going to be folding my fabric into two like this. Then I'm going to fold it over again. That means my fabric is folded into four. So at this sharp edge, I'm going to go in by 3 inches at this point. Then I'm going to rule a straight line from that 3 inches. From that line, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. Then I'm going to connect the 5 inches back to the 3 inches like this. So I'm going to curve this part like this. So I'm just giving this part a C curve like this. So for the length of the sleeves, I'll be taking 11 inches. I added 1 inch seam allowance to it. So I'm going to place my tape on these points at the top. Then I'm going to move it around at the base to mark the 11 inches. But I'm not going to move it at the top. I'm going to do this like this to the end. Make sure you don't move your tape at the top, but you are going to move it at the base to get the sleeve length. So I'm going to connect everything together like this. So before I cut this out, I'm just going to check if this point is up to what I want. So it's more than, so I want at least 10 inches. So I'm going to reduce it to 10 inches. I'm going to mark down the 10 inches and connect it to the base of the sleeves. Then I'm going to cut it. So I lost the clip off when I was cutting, but I just cut out the top. Then I'm going to finish up the base. This is what I have for my sleeves. I'm going to notch the center of the sleeves. So this is the fabric I'll be using for the skirt part of this dress. This is the longest fabric. The length is 18 inches. So the total length of my dress is 31 inches. When I minus the 16 inches for the half length from it, whatever I have will be the length of this fabric down plus the hemming and joining allowance. So the width on fold is 31 inches. This is the other fabric I'm going to be placing on it. The length of this one is 12 inches and the width on fold is 35 inches as well. It should be the same width with this, but the length should be different. So I'm going to run a straight gather stitch on both of them. So I've gone ahead to turn the neckline of my back piece. I closed the zipper allowance and I took in the dart. I came down by 1 inch from my chest line and I took the dart for both sides of the piece before joining my zipper allowance. So this is the front also. I've gone ahead to turn the opening. Then I'm going to be piping the neckline with this fabric. I hem the base of the fabric, then I join the right side of the fabric to the right side of the neckline. Then I'm going to fold it over like this to the wrong part. Then I'm going to close it up like this to the end. So I also took the darts for the front piece. I came down by 1 inch from my bust line and I took the darts for both sides of the front piece. So when I'm done turning the neckline of the front, I'm going to join both shoulders together by half an inch. I'm done joining the shoulders together. Now I'm going to be attaching my sleeves to it. So I notched the center of the sleeves earlier, so I'm going to place the center of the sleeves on the center of the shoulder. Then I'm going to pin my sleeves round to the armhole. I'm going to pin it round to the armhole, then I'm going to sew it round as well. So I'm done joining the sleeves to it. Now I'm going to close up both sides. I'm going to turn my fabric to the wrong side, then I'm going to properly arrange both of them on each other. Make sure you close your zipper allowance before doing this. So I'm going to close both sides with my body measurements divided by 2. So ensure your zipper allowance is closed before you close both sides. So I'm done closing both sides. I went ahead to open up the zipper allowance. So make sure you fold your sleeves before closing the sides. So I'm going to measure this round. I'm going to measure the waist round like this. I got 27 inches. So the skirt part of this dress, I'm going to gather it to 27 inches. So I'm done running the straight gather stitch on this, so I'm going to gather it till I get 27 inches on both of the fabrics. So I've gotten 27 inches already, so I'm going to tie the rope so it will not lose back. I'm going to tie it on both sides. So I did the same thing for this other fabric. So I'm going to place the two fabrics on each other. I'm going to place the short one on the longer one like this. Then I'm going to sew it on each other on a straight line. So I'm done stitching these two together. Now I'm going to be attaching my half length to it. So I'm going to place the right side of my half length on the right side of the skirt part like this. Then I'm going to join it together and sew it on a straight line. So I'm done doing that. So this is what I have. So I'm going to close up the back. Before you attach your half length to this, make sure it's fitted. So I'm going to add my zipper to the back and close it up. Then I'm going to hem the base. So with this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next video.